Hey everyone, Guy here. If you're watching this video, then this means that you have just seen the premiere of the latest PMV from this year's Everfree Northwest, Masayume Chasing. And there is a lot I have to get off my chest in terms of talking about what went on during all this. And let's just say it was a lot to handle, because not only am I tinkering around with a software that I am not that all familiar with, sorta. Last time I even used it majorly was for Run With Us, but that was like eons ago. But there's more to it than you think, and we'll get to it once we finish this and I discuss this. Now, before any of you try and view this video early, tough. This video was coming out 30 minutes early, 30 minutes after the premiere of Masayume Chasing. This video right here is being pre-recorded, so I don't know what the results will be for the competition. Whether or not it will win anything or not, that is a big question mark. But another thing to take into account is just how far do we go in terms of how chaotic the whole production was. From one point where I was almost finished with one PMV, but then decided to move on to this one, spent weeks trying to iron out the kinks of not only the standard video itself, but also the video that you have just seen, but everything in between. There is a lot to go into, and so little time to do this before, what to call it. Now, like I said, now, as for this video has been pre-recorded, like I said, so I don't know what the results are. This is being shown a week before, Everfree actually happens. But this video is being shown to Spiral Kips early, just so you can understand the hell I had to go through for this. I may as well link El Donde this video as well after the competition, because, like I said, too much hell to go through for this. Way too much. But anyways, enough dilly-dallying. Let's get this video started. Anyways, Masayume Chasing. So, I thought for this one I'd start off a little atmospheric. So, the song's building up a little bit, you see the environments and everything, and then it cuts to the movie and what would follow soon. That's kind of a personal detail for me. There could have been maybe somebody singing right there, especially right where the butterflies are coming in, but yeah, never mind. I hate to be pausing this a lot, but a lot of these were early effects that, once I was finished doing the first PMV, which I submit this one, at least I bring this into After Effects with the rough subtitles on screen, and then I try to make something out of it. make it a little more lively, a little animated. With this one, as soon as I finished up that shot with the mirror, with both of its lyrics coming out of the screen, for me, I just kind of like how this worked a little bit, somewhat. Again, there's so much rough details, but hey, at least I'm kind of learning a little bit. But also, this is kind of like where I was like learning more of the style of After Effects, because like sometimes I'll go to El Donde and ask him like certain advice about like what should I do with lyrics if I run out of ideas to like tilt the thing of like forwards, backwards, up, down, something like that. And one thing he said was, try the Z-axis. Those can be good. Adds a little variety to it all. So that's what I did. But this is also kind of a 3D text, for the most part. For the most part, it turned out well for the results we have. Okay, again, like I said, I don't mean to be pausing this a lot, but especially when it came to the shot of the puddle of Rarity, this was another pull-off in After Effects. Thought this one was alright. I mean, I could have come up with, like, a few more boxes tilted around a little bit, and kind of, like, make it look like it's actually coming out of this instead of it, like, somewhat cutting out here. But also, the smile one, this one took a little bit of brain tinkering, because I didn't want to have this just be flat subtitles, like I couldn't come up with anything. I browsed through the entirety of the After Effects, thinking about it, and it's like with Fluttershy in this little puddle from the garden hose from the gardener. I kind of looked through, I saw some wavy text, and I added that in, and again, just I like the result. I like how it turned out. Typewriter. Now, like I said, this is just an instance where it's like, if I can't come up with anything, then that's kind of a hard deciding factor. This typewriter one, like I said, like, there are some stuff which, if there are some things I wish I could fix, or at least kind of make it look like it was moving a little bit, and not like sudden typewriter, like one word's being typed up, suddenly goes backwards, and then types up another word. That is definitely one I would redo. And then I was also trying to think of something that would be the perfect fit for the don't cry thing. And I thought maybe having, like, Tank, like, holding on a Rainbow Dash, I thought that would work for the don't cry part. When it came to like the solo subtitles, or at least that shot right there where you see all three of the subtitles, like three of the subtitles just popping up on like different shots, I thought maybe for that one, especially in editing, in the template, not in the After Effects, I thought it'd be interesting if it was just Like we had the lyrics match on screen a little bit, but it's like different shot, there's different lyrics on it. Results I thought were good. The Spike one I think was alright. But it was like, probably at best I would have potentially just like have like made the text a little smaller as we backed up. It's like as the camera rolled up into the ceiling, so that it looked like the text was getting smaller and smaller. But I work with what I work with. But also the fact that I nearly blew up my desktop in the process. Long story, but I'll get to that at the end. Now, normally I think if Eldonde was reviewing this, he wouldn't be pausing this much. But there are some stuff where we're pretty good. But it was also just me thinking, how do I want this to work? So maybe for that, like, the title drop, the Masayume chasing, 2 different shots, got that, that'll work. So we have one shot, Masayume, and then next shot, chasing. Then we have the next shot of chasing with Rainbow Dash in the tunnel as the spotlights go on. Kind of the spotlight of the lyrics, just like past the lyrics as it's sung. Maybe I would have added more of a shadow to it, but that's just, you know, if I wasn't much of a, don't need to spoil all the details about it all. Other things I like about it, maybe was like when the lyrics like began following them, the crew. So it's like Spike had Jibun, and then Applejack had Sijoy Sai, but this one where it's just like, it kind of looked like she was like kicking and pushing the lyric off the screen. Like we see her like kicking like she kicks the lyric in the air, drops it to the ground, and then with her hind leg she pushes that lyric off screen, and then another set of lyrics pops up. That one I thought was, it's decent for what it is. Thought it turned out alright. The other shots, the Imwo, I should say. It's another example of a, just think of something real quick, so maybe head pops up and then there's the lyrics. And sometimes they're static and it got nothing for them. That's kind of the case for a lot of these subtitles a bit. And sometimes it's just tinkering around with them, moving them around, see what I could get the most out of. Continuing. This is an example of, so if you recall earlier, I didn't really time the lyrics to the beginning of the track and just went blind look. This is where I was like, oh, I can manipulate this so that it's like, it's slowly kind of sort of typing out each lyric as it's being sung on screen. which that one I kind of liked. Another example of using background for certain text. That one was pretty good. I almost had it be like part of that lid or whatever, or at least part of the little door, the locks, so that when it's like when Sweetie Drops unlocks the case, those lyrics just suddenly go flying up. Thankfully, I kind of decided to leave that out for the most part. Time everything to the hero part, which in like some translations they translate it out to hero, which no doubt that'd be the case. Fucking the way. Sorry. But this one I probably could have easily kept on screen, maybe for one shot, but I guess it's fine in my books. Somewhat. Then time all of this. Perfect, no problem. Motivation, shot, all them on screen. Always love that part. Always a good shot. Then we time everything, the more the beats, to the background ponies. I like how this turned out. I like they're just like popping out and they're like racing off to the big event. Took a while to time these with the speakers, but definitely was worth it in the end. But also the hey hey, like that one. Another example of pretty much good timing with the lyrics, for the most part. That turned out alright. I hate to pause it when Twilight's like that. I didn't know what to choose for this, so I just kind of decided, let's just throw in Cranky and Matilda's wedding in there, and then just have a shot with, like, Discord, Main Six, Princesses, etc. from the Season 6 finale, and they're all smiling and everything. So, is it another one that works for me, or at least felt like was pretty good a little bit, but really a matter of personal preference. But needed something to pat out there, so why not that? I should mention right here, though despite the fact there's a few more shots that are like this, if there are some, like, visuals that may be of interest that I would like to maybe have the background ponies manipulate a little bit. The only one I kinda didn't like was the sun, like, shot in the dark part. Was, I'd say the Lesson Zero one kinda didn't turn out right. Didn't really turn out, but I needed something that would match the English lyrics. So the thing to keep in mind while editing the base PMV, I laid out subtitles in English and timed those to the beat, or at least as much as I possibly could. Threw in the Ramaji, did some inspecting, and minor edits here and there, made sure everything worked. This one's Rainbow Dash in Lesson Zero. If I could think of a better shot for Lesson Zero, I would. And this one, like, I just like the Twilight, like, with the subtitle popping up out of the ground, or the staircase as Twilight's, like, rubbing her ear, and then her hoof just, like, pushes it down back into the ground a little bit. Timing could be a bit better on, like, that hoof. and on that with pushing it down. But like again, lots of stuff that, as I say before, could have been worse. Okay, so I wasn't paying attention there for a little bit, except for the subtitles on screen. Fading the lyrics were a pain in the ass to deal with in After Effects. Now, easily I could have done this in Vegas, but it was like, I created the base for it, I need to learn how to make these fades work. That took a good while. Comb through the effects, see what would work for them. Some of the timing, feel like they were fine, somewhat. Like I said, there are some stuff that really worked with this, and this was kind of one of those moments, especially when Spike stops and looks at the sky of the dragons. I just kind of decided to take that final, like, lyric and that part of the lyrics, just have it fade into the no, becomes ow, and then it just suddenly moves to the center. I thought that could, for me, I thought that could be me just being all funny and everything, because it's like takes one lyric and then returns to the center and everything. I thought it'd be kind of golden for that. Again, I'm a pre-recorded video, so I don't know what the answers are gonna be. Anyways. Subtitles right here. Like I said, if there's an instance where it's like I got nothing, or it's like I didn't know how to time these right, like this part, the more Doranai, it's hard to pronounce some of these Romagis, to be honest, but it's also like, it would have been also a matter of, do I want to go in and re-edit these? Because I had to tweak the video a few times just to make the timings work for the lyrics. Sometimes that's easier said than done. So, Coco here is static. Then the ones with Spike getting all cuddled, and then the stuff with the flowers, all those are static. But then I couldn't also think of another one where it looked like Spike was depressed and running away before it cut to him, like, hugging Twilight in tears, and then just, like, suddenly feeling uplifted and everything. Then I needed something here for the lyrics, which involved flowers. And like I said, I edit with the English subtitles on screen in Vegas, run them through, make sure, like, I understand what the basis is for this. And I think the concept went all right. And then it cuts to the lyrics following our characters. There are some that I wish weren't so fast on. Like this one with Twilight and Rarity and the Rainbow Power. Would have been a lot better. But it's also another one where I'm fading into the next shot. So, again, matter of, do you see the clip? Do you see it fastly and quickly as possible for where it cuts to the next shot with Sekani? Sekani. Like, little fun fact for you, if you want to learn some if you want to learn an English word in Japanese, Sekai is Japanese for world. Yeah, it means our world. Proceeding onwards. There are a few instances where there are some parts I will edit in the first portion of the video, but then decide I want to move these to the next chorus or move them to the final part. I have this happen a lot to PMVs, especially in recent years, with I think it was Friday I'm in Love and Don't Give Up. Proceeding onwards. This is where I kind of tinker around with After Effects half the time for this second chorus. Which, some of these lyrics aren't the same. They change the verses a little bit in the song. But you'll kind of see... I'll talk more about the visuals once we finish up that chorus. So there's our next pause. In terms of this is kind of one where I'm like, almost a portion I want to use at least that little blend of roto brush, which is kind of making stuff appear like almost as if they were in the background. It's like dealing with the painting the area if in the image needed, and then make the characters almost look like they're, or make text or whatever look like they're within the background and popping up here and there and out of nowhere. This one, the Sayonara Changing, was just me tinkering around with it a little bit, so it kind of makes it look like Cozy Glow's like obliterating the Sayonara with her magic, but then the chasing lyric pops out of her as she twirls around after Rainbow Dash. There are actually some shots where it actually almost looks so smooth. Right there. That blend. Sometimes these can happen in After Effects. Sometimes you have to tinker around with it. Manual brush. Sometimes the auto brush, by some sheer coincidence, can work properly. And this is kind of one of those examples. It's crazy to believe this actually did work for the shot I needed. Because look at that. Isn't that almost pitch perfect? Doesn't that look good? It looks good. Then we have more of the lyrics like following our characters. So we have Twilight jumping around on the rocks, and it's following her, follows Rarity, thing follows Rarity until she sets up the shield. That one could have been better executed a little bit. Maybe it like follows Rarity a little bit, and then it's kind of like just right behind her in the top right. And then the Moto part, which I thought it'd be maybe like she's blasting the that lyric into T-Rex's face, all while keeping time to the beat. Some of the Moto stuff like could have been synchronized a lot better, but you can also see the static. But also in one portion of the lyric, you also see the lyric be in another portion, and it's not just stuck in the center. This one I wanted to actually show like Pinky popping out of the ground with Chrysalis trying to like destroy her, and that shot, it's fine for what it is. Could have maybe blended the lyrics in to like their to the other pony's hooves as they're trying to chase after Golgar's bell. could have been better. Then we have more rotoscope with the text. Also manipulation of like shrinking it and enlarging it. The changing one took, I think, good 45 minutes for each of them. So it looks like it's following after, so it's like almost like like chasing them as they're traveling along. The guy high, or however it was in the song. Matter of timing, also a matter of how did I want to pull this off, make it look like, I don't know, maybe the sun is like taking it in and making the lyrics shine a little bit. But this other text, which leads into the next, you know, the na 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 part. This one is another one that execution could have been better, because it's like, you look real closely, it starts at her head, but then it's like bottom of the chest, but suddenly right in the eyes. And then I try what I can to don't really get much of the lyric transition, because like I said, I couldn't really. After Effects is a pain in the ass. What do you expect from a novice person that's just create a video like this? Okay, I gotta pause right there before we get to this one. So we have, like I said, more timing. It was hard to think of ones that it's just like the Crusaders are on there and like timing to the beat and everything. The one with Scootaloo and the Sea Pony version of her, those were really, I thought worked really perfectly, and was probably another example of like it can work with blending in the lyrics almost as if she was like singing along to the song a little bit. And like timing of beats, always important. Always important. Anyways, let's talk about the shot. This one. This is one which was an early rotobrush. This took me a good while to learn this. I have separate files, and just in my mind, even while setting up the base, I'm like, what if I just decided for this middle sequence, I'm gonna cut to Pinkie Pie, just like from the. What if I just had this part cut to Pinkie Pie? And so, like, for the most part, I thought this transition, it's decent, but like even the auto brush couldn't save it for the most part. But it's another one of those, you get what you get, and no way of avoiding that. Anywho, here comes the bridge. The Equestria Girls sequence came about this inspiration as I was thinking back to Run With Us, like the telephone part, because I couldn't figure out where in the Ponyverse would that line work. In the back of my mind, I just decided, what if I took this part of the bridge, of the Masayume chasing here, and just threw in, like, kind of Pinkie Pie as she's kind of singing this rap, kind of this rap part of the song. There were cover versions that exists, one that was a pretty good one, I forget the name of it. They didn't use the rap. They mainly kept to the lyrics and everything of the main base of the song. But the After Effects blending, this one I thought worked well. You have the fair standard text zoom in, text zoom out. But this one, where it looks like from the bullhorn, like the lyrics are just blowing out of there with the little vibration wavy thing almost going at a crazy pace. That one, I think, when I reviewed the results of this, I mainly thought to myself, this kind of reminds me of Electricity from Schoolhouse Rock, if anyone remembers that. But the, yeah, just in the base of my mind, I'm just like, this kind of reminds me of Schoolhouse Rock a little bit. I think ones I'm not really proud of a bit was maybe when she, like the wake up makeup part, where wake up is its own, like, again, roto brush style. And so it was just separate clips came out. We also have that typewriter thing in that part. And it kind of fades. It's like, again, like I said back at the first verse of the song, where it's like, it looks like the song's typed up, goes backwards, types in. Like, that one could have had the, you know, because the lyric is like, well, it's a Kusakat, and then the English is fade out. Could have added in the fade out right there. But never really thought about it. And again, not to bring the PC up until later, but this was trying to blow up. And it was not fun. It was not fun doing some of these visuals, worrying about my desktop blowing up. But then we have some of the lyrics, like following them as they're dancing along. I tried what I can to match them singing, quote-unquote, singing the song. It's somewhat easy for the English, but I think the Ramaji also kind of helped a little bit in that aspect. Then second to last lyric before it transitions back. Like I said, unless I wanted the lyrics to just flash on screen, that would be definitely a case of no. And besides, if I was to do a textless version of the song, which technically I already have because I sent the thing to Kips, unless there's like some popular demand or whatever for people to want me to upload the textless version just to see what the song was like without without the lyrics on screen jumping all over the place, then that I will upload. More notes for you. And this one's actually pretty big, especially for this one I paused on. This was more roto brushing right here, especially came to like the transition back to the ponies. Took a while, but somewhere when I got back into like re-editing and redoing the roto brush, because somebody glitched out and decided, nope, not gonna work. I tried my hand at it manually again, but somehow the auto brush worked properly. So Again, it looks like the tree's obscuring the lyric. But again, like, timing the beat, it kind of was mixed bag. And then we have our 3D text pops up on screen. It goes smaller as it zooms out. This one I like more than the others, but this one, this shot right here, with all the ponies like posing everything like badasses. I was in close talks with Kips about like what I could and couldn't use for the submission, and had to get full clearance. If some of you are just like, where does this come in? This pops up somewhere within the... what is it? This pops up within one of the bona fide, like, officially made Hasbro promotional clips for Season 8, I think is when this one came out. But they did bona fide versions of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They did one on Full House, Saved by the Bell. This one is from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And I linked him this. I linked the thing saying, is it safe for me to use this? And he gave me the full clearance to use it. So, thank you, Kips. Thank you for that. Anywho. This is why I was iffy on, did I really want to do this? Did I really want to remove the rest of the lyrics from the end of the PMV? Because it was like, once it got up to this final chorus, I'm like, thinking, okay, just as long as everyone knows, like, officially what they are saying from the first verse of the song, and it's ingrained in their brains, they're able to understand it all. And so that was kind of the deciding benefactor of it all. We got more, at least some of the second to last After Effects stuff, especially with the lyrics. Like, it goes into Chrysalis's hoof. It pops out of the little, it pops out of the bubble they're in. It somewhat follows the yaks as they're like bouncing to the beat. This one, I feel like for Chrysalis, like, definitely works, and was another example of like using that like manipulation of the frame. So in one shot it kind of looks like it's up, next thing it goes down on that frame, and it kind of does this as the earthquake is going on. Some things I would fix, like the Tokiro thing, like definitely that one would be a fix somewhat, because that one I think like just goes by too damn quickly. I think like, because it uses 23 frames, so I think this just whizzes by too much. Then the last roto, again, where the lyrics suddenly pop out of Cozy Glow from the dragon as she's twirling around. Sure, why not? It's fine, I guess. Fine like that. Okay, I lied. That was the second to last After Effects thing. I forget what it's called, but it's like blending in the frames with one another. So, like, example, those are the captain and her crewmates. I can't really remember their names for some weird reason. But it's like, they're all, like, jumping out of the kick, and you see, like, all three of them in frame and everything. I think that's alright for the one After Effects shot. But then again, I was separating all of these shots between like each frame and everything, and wasn't. Some of these early shots, like the Crusaders and the Equestria Girls and the parts with the clip I called Rainbow Crash in the beginning, and then the cap, and then the pirates, those were all like separate After Effects files. They weren't like all in one, like some would assume. As nice as that would be. But you also may have noticed like a big color difference. At the time, there was one part of this song which, again, this was part of the first verse, but then kind of decided to move down to the end. So, this is kind of where something I will explain more once this finishes. I will explain more in detail, I think. Anywho. And there we go. That's the end of Masayume Chasing. Now to discuss about some of the other shots, like the ship going like in full color. There was people online that uploaded that like made an upscaled 4K version of this, and in the first verse I'm like, I want to make it so like, you know, once the ship's like colors pop out, that's suddenly when the colors like are brightened and everything. That, like, I didn't edit that in AE, I edited that in Vegas. That, I swear to God, took me weeks to time right. I went through 4 versions just to get that timed properly. And my God, it felt like an eternity. But if you thought if you thought Vegas was an eternity, that's where this comes in. That's where the other software comes in. Also, final shot of Rainbow Road Trip. One day, as I was kind of relaxing, getting motivations, editing the video, I'm like sitting in the back of my mind, and I'm just suddenly pops into my mind, I don't see anyone that ever uses clips of Rainbow Road Trip in their PMVs. So in mine, I'm like, what the hell? I'll throw him in. I'll use it for this ending shot as well. And that's kind of how Masayume Chasing came to be. And the sporadic hell I had to go through to make this. Because there's one of 2 things. As I was saying before, in the middle of the video, there was some stuff going on in Vegas. The Vegas After Effects that was like bogging down my PC. So I ask people, why is it doing this? And people say, make sure that you don't have anything else open. Not a web browser, not Steam, not even Discord. It's just you and After Effects. So this kind of came to be. But even then, while separately editing Masayume Chasing, this was one where I was almost scared that it was going to kill my PC. So this desktop came from sometime in 2016. Laptop here is 2017. the minimum that After Effects requires is roughly just about 15 or 16 gigs to run After Effects. And I decided I'm going to run the subtitles for this video. Throw it on the wall, see what sticks, etc., etc. And for the most part, it kind of works. Some do, some don't. But it's a matter of personal preference and personal opinion, like what people think of it. In my mind, even as I was telling Kips about my submission, I said, like, just at one hinge what song I was going to pick. And the one thing he said was, go with something that speaks to you personally. Even if nobody else likes the PMV, you yourself can be proud of it. The question be, am I proud of Masayume chasing? Do I like the results and how this video turned out? The answer to that question is, I think so. I think this turned out good. The only thing I really kind of bogged me down a bit was running After Effects. Fearing that my PC would blow up. Because I wasn't even knowing what I was doing in AE. I wasn't figuring out how to do this, or how to do that, or how to delete all these temp files, totaling to a whopping 80 gigabytes. Remove that from the desktop. And it took me a day after I finished it to get that narrowed down and clean up the PC. But a lot of you also may be curious, why did I pick Masayume chasing? Because isn't there something stark and so different about it? There is. As it said in the description, this was used as one of the openings for Fairy Tail. But then the music video for that song came out from Boa, and there is like stark difference between one another. I'm going to show the comments on the screen here, but there is people that are literally comparing this, the original Boa music video, to how it's used in Fairy Tail. So like one comment is saying the Boa music video is about having fun, partying, dancing, and smiling and everything. But then in Fairy Tail, it's just dragons, destruction, flames, time travel, death, sorrow, betrayal, kidnapping, execution, a fighting tournament, etc., etc. Another one I like is just Boa, happy dancing, Fairy Tail, the planet has 5 minutes left. Like I said, this is one of those where it's like people are like, they're comparing this and it's like just so polarizing how opposite this whole thing is. And then one comment just says, they're using this for one of the saddest arcs in the anime. Like, everyone's dying and people believe it for real. And it's like, end of the world. But then the Boa video is just, like I said, all positive, happy, and dancing and everything. Looking at these comments, like, even as I was, like, nearly finished with the base version of another PMV I worked on, this one was running in my mind and was like, would it be worth it if I did this? Imagine if I did Masayume chasing, but still kind of kept, the mixed, but also kind of made it like a mixture of like sort of slow, sort of depressing, but also throw in the happy elements in there. For the most part it works, But again, it can't compare to what the stark difference is if you look at the Boa music video and then the fairy tale opening as it was used. Cause even thinking about this now, I'm laughing my ass off. Just how this looks. Just how it's all executed. And thinking about it more, this is just... it's golden. That's all I can say. It's pure golden. Honestly, the more I think about it, even this, like, review a little bit, explaining all this that's been running for damn near an hour by this point. Personally, I would kind of put this somewhere, like, right up top, Friday I'm in Love, and would put this, like, almost near close to Run With Us, with the top of it being Don't Give Up, or I think it was Reach All Along at the top, Don't Give Up here, Run With Us, and then the lower parts are like Friday I'm in Love and Like to Teach the World to Sing, the works. But that's just my take on this, about like all the chaos and hell that went through with this as I was editing it. Like I said, this video was pre-recorded, so I don't know what the results are of this. The only thing I can mainly think about with this is, at most this could be qualified for the best story entry. So, imagine if it does win best story, that'd be crazy. And, like I said, there is this whole idea where I felt like maybe I was a little bit iffy on, like, if the subtitles would be distracting. So, I put out a textless version of the video. Or at least uploaded it to a Google Drive. If there's people that want to view this without the lyrics, let me know. And depending on, like, people's request or by popular demand, I will upload a textless version of the song. If you just want to enjoy the visuals on screen, but not even care about the lyrics. But that's just my take on this PMV here. But what do you guys think? Do you think that it was worth it waiting 10 years to do another Japanese based PMV set to G4 of ponies? Was it worth it to have the middle sequence be like Equestria Girls and everything? But in my mind, I'm just like, I want to see if I want to, like, throw El Donde a little bit bonkers, because, I mean, it's not as, like, useless as, like I said, with Run With Us and the telephone part. But it's with this that it's, with its use here, it's just kinda, it's kind of a little, like, I just want to see El Donde's reaction to it. How does he feel about the Equestria Girls being included in this? Anywho, think about this point, it's an hour long. Thanks for coming from my TED Talk. Let me know what your thoughts are about this PMV down below, and I'll see you guys next time for whatever the next video is going to be. So, take care. Damn this fly!